So, okay, couple things. Olympics going on right now, right? And there's a lot of different stories. And when you think about Olympic gold medalists, like if we were to say the top 10, 20 famous Olympic gold medalists that people tell the story, you're one of them. Your story always comes up.
Yeah.
Whether people follow boxing or not, they know, right? They know, hey, Oscar De La Hoya, young, 19 years old, you were doing what you were doing. When you went in, controversy comes up with this Algerian boxer that I'm sure you followed. I even think you commented on it. You said a couple words about it, right? Imane Khelif, if I'm butchering the name, forgive me, Algerian. At first, everybody's saying, male boxer, all this stuff. In 2023, I think she failed a gender eligibility test for the World Championships. According to the IBM, when they asked what it was, they said they found something, but they never said anything. In 92, when you went in to the Olympics to represent America, what tests do they do on you? What backgrounds do they get on you? Is it just blood? Is it what kind of testing did you guys do?
I don't remember any testing. I don't remember any blood work, any urine tests that they do. I don't remember that. And back then in 92, it was more about, I guess people respected you more. They had confidence in you that you were not gonna take any type of supplements or any enhancing type of drugs that are gonna help you win gold medals. So it really wasn't popular at the time, I don't think. Maybe randomly, once a year, they would test you, or once every 6 months. But I don't remember getting any tests done in Barcelona.
So when you saw the story about this Imane Khelif, the story that we're hearing about, and you watch her boxing, and the Italian boxer quits, I think after 46 seconds, some number like that, and she says, "I've never been hit like this before." And then at first, everybody posts transgender, this, that, and then story comes out. She was born a female. Here's a picture with the dad when she was a kid. But then they're going back and chromosome this, testosterone this. She didn't pass this. You're in the world. You're in the space. What are your friends? What are you guys talking about right now when you see something like that?
Well, I was watching with my partner, and it's dangerous. Any type of high-level testosterones that any athlete might have, whether it's a man or female, it's just dangerous, especially when you're in a sport where you're not throwing a football, you're not kicking a ball, you're literally hitting somebody's head in. So I just felt that, look, I mean, you look at the body of the person, and my gosh, it looks stronger than the opponents, than the women opponents that she's fighting. And so when I start reading, XY chromosome and this and that, and she got suspended prior to the Olympics, I believe in the World Championships. You start thinking to yourself, my gosh, what is the IOC thinking? What is the AIBA thinking? The governing bodies of boxing. And, they have to literally get their shit straight, basically, because it's been going on for a long time. Boxing is a sport that is very fragmented. Boxing is a sport that is really not universally organized, like other sports. You have the NBA, you have soccer, you have Major League Soccer, all that. Boxing is just so fragmented that we don't have people who are literally policing every single move and making sure that things like this don't happen.
Got it. So there's two topics that I want to go to. The fragmented part, which is very brilliantly explained. Like in UFC, it's easy. Dana makes a decision, but in boxing, you got bomb.
Every state.
Who are these guys? Who are those guys? You got the promoters, you got the contractors, you got pay-per-view. There's so much politics in boxing where there's not that much politics in maybe the UFC. But let's go back to Olympics. Based on what you've looked at with this, I mean, you're in boxing, so you're going to follow some of the boxing events that's going on. Are the conversations behind closed doors amongst peers where it's like, look, I thought maybe she was a guy, but okay, now they're saying she's a girl, fine, but she must be on something. She must be on testosterone. She must be on some PED.
Absolutely.
Is that kind of where you're at now?
Absolutely. Okay. I mean, look, testosterone levels in boxing are dangerous because you're punching somebody's head in. That's the bottom line. And, there's a strong argument you can make either way. So the bottom line is that whatever they're going to decide, the IOC, is what people have to go with. They have to believe. So I just feel personally because I'm a fighter, I'm a boxer, I've been there in the ring, I've gotten hit by fighters who have taken testosterone. And let me tell you, you don't want to be in the ring. It feels like getting hit with a baseball bat. It really does. And it changes your body. It changes your physical inside, and you become stronger, whether you're a man or a woman. And so that testosterone level is, it's dangerous, like I said.
Got it. So, but you think there was something going on? Like you think there's something very weird about the situation you're
going on.
And what happens now? Like, because when I'm asking you in the 1992 Olympics when you won the gold medal, you're saying they didn't do any testing on you guys back then. Really. It was just kind of like, hey, you're representing America, come on in. So I wonder, do you know if they're testing now, or is it just kind of like you're representing and come in?
Yeah, no. The testing is most likely every single day, basically. After you compete, before you compete, they're always testing you every single day.
So if that is the case, wouldn't they know if the Algerian boxer is using PEDs or not, or is there still a way for her to get away with it?
There's still ways. I mean, as you know, as soon as they come up with something, there's always or some kind of steroid or high testosterone or whatever you want to call it. They'll invent something. Create a test for it.
Got it.
Some kind of masking, mechanism over here. So it's always evolving. It's always changing. So you just never know.
92, you're in there, 19 years old, you're going in. This is, in the history of NBA basketball, there's never been a more exciting, team that was ever put together. Even Magic Johnson, there's this 1 4-minute clip on YouTube that I've watched probably 100 times where Magic says, hey, the best game ever played at the Olympics in 1992 wasn't the game. It was us against each other, where Michael said, sir, I'm the captain, you pick he picks Larry, he starts putting the team together, and Michael decides to destroy him, and Magic is talking shit to Michael. And then Larry eventually tells Magic and says, look, it's officially his league, leave it alone. And then Michael comes in, and the world says, oh my God, Michael Jordan. You're coming up in boxing.
Sure.
Like at this point, you're Oscar De La Hoya, but you're not yet Oscar De La Hoya, right? You're 19-year-old Golden.
Sure.
So are they coming to your fight? Are you going to their game? Is there any interaction? Are you seeing Michael? Are you seeing these guys? What is that like?
Funny story. The whole team would go to every single fight. They would literally have this, I think the 5th row for them cleared off, and so to make sure they watch the fights. But
Michael would be at the
Michael would be there, Magic Johnson.
That's cool.
Barkley, everybody would be there, and they would leave him alone, like as if they weren't famous. It was pretty odd. It was crazy, but they love boxing. They love the sport, and you can tell. I believe it was Magic Johnson who was more into the boxing. He would just stay there. And just, I mean, you couldn't talk to him. You couldn't say anything to him.
And you're noticing this while you're in the ring.
Yeah. In between rounds, you're watching these guys like, wow, Michael Jordan just waved to me. Yeah, it was pretty distracting, but at the same time motivating.
But at this point, you're not famous yet, right?
No.
So this is the first fame you experience.
Yeah.
What is it like, 19-year-old? You're like, Michael's rooting for me.
Right. It's a surreal moment. I mean, you don't believe it. You think you're dreaming, right? It put added pressure to me to win the gold.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, I had the pressure of winning it for my mother, who passed away from breast cancer a year prior to the Olympics. So that pressure from America, because the media now is making me the darling of the Olympics. Oscar De La Hoya winning the gold for his mother. Can he do it? His dying mother, from breast cancer. And so that pressure for a young kid.
Wow.
I mean, imagine.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, having my dream team, winning that too. I mean,
wow.
It was a pretty surreal moment.
Did you have, like, when you won, like, was there a moment when you got the gold, some guys coming congratulating? Was there moments where the champions were together behind closed doors?
Everybody, yeah.
Do you have any stories of it?
Oh, yeah, no. Well, first of all, when I won the gold, I mean, the experience is the best moment I've ever had.
That's your best ever?
On top of the podium, listening to the national anthem of America, and plus thinking about your mom who just passed away. I get chills now. It was just incredible. And the world just fell in love with me. After that, I became the golden boy.
That is, and now obviously Golden Boy, you got the promotional company, all this stuff that you're doing.
Yeah.
So that's going on. You're coming back from that moment of coming back into the fight scene. You know, what was the level of fame from there? What happened next?
Oh, gosh.
Scott, what was the next thing that happened for you, opportunity-wise?
Obviously, before the Olympic Games, I did have some kind of like fame, local fame in my neighborhood. You know, the young kid coming up from East LA, winning gold. But when I landed in the US in LAX, and this is when the public airports, they would let people in all the way into the gate. You didn't have to go through security.
No TSA.
There's no
2001.
TSA.
Right. That's right. That's a good point.
So the stewardess opens the door to the plane, and I'm right there standing, and there's a sea of 1,000 people just chanting Oscar, and I'm thinking, who are they chanting for?
Right.
I asked the stewardess, and they're like, my gosh, they're here for you. And right there and then, I knew my life is going to be different. It's going to change. It's going to be, it's not going to be the same.
How'd you handle fame at that time? Because fame is, when I watch a lot of guys at a smaller level, you know, we're running an insurance company. We got 10,000 guys at MGM right now, conference, and I'll notice you get up on stage and you edify one of the guys in front of thousands of people. All of a sudden they get like this. Some of the guys you do, they're like, oh my God, I'm humbled. I don't like it. I'm uncomfortable. How do you manage and handle fame at a 19-year, at that age?
Yeah, I always felt I had an angel on my shoulder, you know, and that's my mother, that was looking out for me, that was kind of guiding me and telling me what to say at every moment, you know. And I handled it staying humble. I handled it, the fame was a little overwhelming at first, you know, with women coming at you and taking pictures and wanting to your autographs, and it was a little difficult for me because I'm a shy kid, right, at the time. But in terms of you know, winning big purses professionally and handling my money, and then handling all these people who are coming at me from all sorts of walks of life, I handled it pretty good. I was
at that time.
Yeah, at the time, at 19 years old. Yeah.
In these uncertain times, if there's anything we need people to believe the future looks bright. So if you've heard about me saying this mission to you, we're on a mission to get 1 million people to wear this gear, and this is what we're doing. If you buy one of these hats, there's a category of buying one hat, getting the second one free. If you haven't yet worn this gear publicly, go ahead and test it out. Buy some of the gear, wear it in public, and see how many people will stop by and say, you also watch Valuetainment? You also follow PBD Podcast? I do too. Place your order. Go to vtmerch.com. Click on the link above or below. Place your order and represent the VT and the PBD Podcast gear.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.